Fam, we talk about a lot on this platform. Unfortunately, a lot of killing, a lot of drama. I got an interview with a councilman I plan on dropping down there in Alabama. I got 2 Facebook Live stories that I want to bring to you guys' attention. But I want to hold fast, because all 3 scenarios that I just mentioned revolve around something negative. Today, hopefully this is the first of many. We shine light on a young kid from the Maryland area who have over $1.7 million in scholarships, a 5.0 GPA, D1 offers, and a hell of a story that's positive that I want to shine light on. So in this video, it's a little different. It's no killing. It's nothing negative. It's strictly positive and highlighting a young man's career before he take off and he announced where he was attending college in the process. Hopefully, we find this just as intriguing as the other stories. But without wasting too much time on this intro, as always, I won't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll jump right to it. Now before we head to this interview, I would like to give this guy a proper introduction like we do all the other stories. Family meet Christian Wilbon. He attended Westlake High School in Waldorf, Maryland. Class of 2025, he's a 3-time state track champion, Adidas and Nike All-American, and the first athlete in school history to ever be recruited by an Ivy League school. A 5.0 GPA, 300+ medals in track and field, 1.7 million in scholarship offers from over 30 Division I schools, including LSU, Ohio State, UNC, Davidson, and more. He was accepted into Columbia University. He featured guests on Michael Finkley's show. He's also aiming for the 2028 Olympic trials, and he's a future dermatologist in the making. He's also been honored with multiple citations from the Maryland Governor and Senate. He holds 16 AAU All-American titles and is a proud member of the National Honor Society across the board. Family, meet Christian. Welcome to the Family TV. Today we want to shine light on some positive in the community. If you don't mind telling the audience who we have here today.
Hello, my name is Christian Wilbon. I am a 4-time Maryland High School state champion. I am a 16-time AAU All-American, 19-time overall All-American. I have 4 governor citations and 3 Senate citations. And I've been to Junior Olympics 5 times. I earned 4 Junior Olympic medals. And I have a 5.0 GPA that I obtained in my senior year of high school. And I was a part of the High School National Honor Society and Student Athlete Honor Society. And I am a 1-time Nike All-American and a 3-time Adidas All-American.
And it's also reported you have well over $1 million worth of scholarships.
Yes, $1.7 million worth of scholarships between all the schools that accepted me.
And if I'm not mistaken, you was one of the first athletes in your school history to be recruited by Ivy League school.
Yes, I was the first athlete in my school to be recruited to compete in sports for an Ivy League school.
How did you pick track?
So I started off playing multiple other sports besides track. I started off playing baseball, football, basketball, soccer, and track was the last sport that I played. And when I ran track, it was like the best sport out of the whole 5 that I tried. So I just stuck with it, and I've just been improving year by year and, hitting new goals and making more progress as I went on. And I love the way that track makes me feel while I'm running, opposed to the other sports that I've tried in the past. So it was my favorite.
I also saw where you had allegedly over 300 medals.
Yes, I do.
How would you describe yourself beyond the medals?
I would say I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. I love to read mystery and thriller books. Those 2 are like my favorite hobbies. Like I love watching Harry Potter. I love reading mystery and thriller books. I'm a huge advocate for suicide awareness, and I just love to make a positive impact on my community when I can.
I know you put in countless hours and hard work each and every day to get to where you at and where you're going. What keeps you motivated?
What keeps me motivated is just trying to set new personal records for myself in the events that I compete in. So really just seeing that PR next to my name is always makes me feel great. Like no matter, of course, the goal is always to win and come in first overall. But as long as I see that I'm improving, it's just like one of the best feelings as a track athlete. And that's why I keep striving to try to work hard and create new goals for myself because of that feeling.
How do you keep a balance with your mental, academics, and training?
So basically how I balance it is I just honestly just focus on one thing at a time. So while I'm in school, that is my main focus. Like everything is related to my schoolwork, my classes, getting help when I need it, studying, completing my assignments. Then when I'm on the track, everything is just revolving around track, listening to my coaches. And, when I come home, I take a little bit of time to unwind and, relax before diving back into studying and stuff. And when I meet with the National Honor Society, that's when I usually try to do my stuff for SA because that was one of the main projects that we were doing at the beginning of the school year that I joined every single project dealing with that topic. So sometimes I have to stay after school to go to National Honor Society. It's not every day, so that's helpful. So I just try to just focus on one thing at a time as it comes.
What motivated you in the academics to achieve a 5.0?
So basically, I mean, my goal wasn't really to get exactly a 5.0. I just ended up taking 5 AP classes in my senior year. And since they were all AP, I got an A in each single one of those classes, and they're each worth 5 points. And the grade point average scale, you take your total amount of points that you got from the amount of classes that you take, then you divide it by the amount of classes that you're taking. So it ended up becoming a 5.0. And when I first saw it, like after first quarter, like when I saw my report card, I was like, oh my gosh, a 5.0 is so crazy. And I was just really shocked and surprised. But I just always just try to do my best in my classes because I try to get all A's because I remember one time, like in middle school, I got all A's and one B, and I just did not like that feeling because the B just like threw everything off. So I just try to stay away from them as much as I can.
From my understanding, you've been doing some acting as well.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
So for acting, I was doing that probably beginning of sophomore year. I started off at this Shakespeare theater company in DC, and we learned like how to really dive into scripts and really pick them apart, understanding like stuff about our characters so we can better play it well. And then at the end, we had this like performance, and my group decided to do Hamlet. Then, I was reading the script as Hamlet, and it was just like this acting class where we just kind of like learn stuff about acting. And, it was like a beginner's class. I wasn't really able to expand that much on it because once junior year came, like track and National Honor Society in school like really took off, like with my classes and stuff. So I really wasn't able to truly focus on that like I should have. But yeah, it was definitely interesting. It was very fun.
It's something you think you'll be looking forward to doing maybe in the future?
Yes, definitely.
Speak on some sacrifices that you made.
So I definitely had to sacrifice, hanging out with my friends sometimes, like when there would be like gatherings or like, going out on the weekends. Cause usually on the weekends, that's when I have my track meets. So I can't really go to all the places that they're going, like the fair and like different places to have fun. So I did have to sacrifice that sometimes. I had to sacrifice I still do try to get free time every day because I know that that's very important for your mental so you don't get burnt out. But I have to sacrifice the amount of free time that I get. Like, in earlier years, since I wasn't taking that many hard classes, like in earlier years, I would have like more time to, do what I want and like have fun and stuff. But for my senior year, since it was my hardest academic year, I had to sacrifice a lot of free time that I would usually get so that I could focus on school and my track responsibilities.
What keep you grounded and focused on when that pressure build up to maybe want to go out?
Just remembering my main goal, you know, I always have a goal that I set for myself in school and in track every school year, every track season. And I hang it up in a place that's visible for me so that I can keep seeing it every day so it never moves out of my head. So I feel like that really keeps me focused on what I really want to achieve.
Did you pick a university yet?
Yes, I did. I decided to commit to Columbia University in New York City.
That's awesome. Now, what make you choose Columbia University and what you most excited about there?
So I loved Columbia because like I loved the coach there. I remember he reached out when I reached out first, but then he reached back out to us, and he was, really impressed with my running and how smart I was in my classes. And when we went up there once to do like a regular tour, and I saw like their stadium and like the campus, and it was like really nice. And I loved like the class programs that they had there. And then later that year, we did like an actual official visit where I was able to try on the uniform and like have a sponsor and stay like in the one of the dorms and stuff to get like more of a feel about how it would feel if I was actually a student at that university. And I just felt very at home there.
What do you hope your story will inspire for others?
I hope my story will show others that you can do anything that you want to do, because getting into an Ivy League school was definitely challenging, and I knew it would be, like especially junior year when I was first like starting to eye them. I knew they had a very low acceptance rate, and I know they're very selective, but I just did everything that was necessary. So if you really want it bad enough, you'll get it. If you just have to truly have to want it, and nothing's impossible with God, all things are possible. So yeah.
What advice will you give to young people?
Um, just stay focused on yourself. Like, don't really worry too much about like what other people are doing, or like, why is this person, getting more attention than me, or why is this person, getting into this school and I'm not. Just try to focus on your weaknesses and strengths and what you do, and don't really worry too much about what other people are doing because it can throw you off. So just try to keep striving for improvement, and so you can get better at really what you want to put your mind to, right?
What's one thing about you that most people would be surprised to learn?
Well, the most surprising thing about me, especially to like my family and friends, is I don't like pancakes, waffles.
Hey man, listen, I'm so excited we was able to have this conversation. I thank you for your time and I wish you nothing but success, and hopefully we have a follow-up conversation about what you're doing in college.
Yes, hopefully. And
Yeah,
so I'm open to any NIL brand sponsorships,
okay.
and I'm represented by Level 26 Brands, Miss Tia Jones.